You not have to represent the 8th Potomac girl out here. if they need a replacement, because some of them girls can go.
Well, who you gonna replace?
To earn her check. And now, because the question has been posed to the table, you all of a sudden want to slide in an apology?
No, I'm not sliding it in.
Please take the apology and shove it up your ass.
Robin sounds like the most obvious one, but my beef is with Gizelle, so anyway.
Robin's going to be the girl for the next season, though. She's not going anywhere.
Now maybe she'll finally get her first scene next to Andy.
No, it's going to be Gizelle and Karen every minute, and I don't know why. Because Karen was mute in this first part. How can you be first seat and you're mute?
I love me some Grandad, but what was the point?
What was the point? I feel like some of the seasons she sat on a second. There's been a few reunions where she.
I think actually every season it was always Giselle and Karen, and then last season they let Wendy sit there, who I love. But I feel like after that season they were like,
after that,
Wendy trusted too much, and it was like, we gave you a shot.
Which is a shame because I feel like when she doesn't do too much, it comes up very well.
Yes, I think Wendy. How do we want to start giving a brief of our thoughts on every person? How do we want to do this?
I don't know, Chav. We're going to do this. Let me do the intro though. Hey guys, I'm Morali. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Back at it again. We're here for Potomac review. I haven't reviewed Potomac in ages, but we watched it. She came kitted out, my friend Abigail as well, all in blue. And we're going to get into this mess of a reunion.
And a season in general, wow. See, is this what season is this? Seven.
There's no sisterhood.
Those girls do not like each other. And I feel like that, to me, I feel like that's why it's not banging. Like, you don't have to be the best of friends, but I feel like there's such visceral dislike and trying to ice out people. It's just, I feel like Potomac in general has become very much like every scene is like who can try and get who out. It's not like organic. It's not fun. It's not like everything.
That's a good point. I think sisterhood is the theme of this video because season 7 Atlanta. Remember that was so dark and they were divided. Yeah. However, even at the end of the reunion, they all came together.
Yeah, and they would all often have
Mimi
moments.
Broke down,
literally,
they all got up for her. And I feel like if one of the girls broke down here, I don't know if the others would be like that.
No, not all.
Yeah, it's a good point.
That's what happens a lot. Like there'll be moments, but there'll be those things. They'll have events and stuff where they'll all come together. And I remember even Carlos saying that with Kenya when they were it felt like they were icing her out of a season. And then he spoke to Nene and was like, we need to get scenes together. And Nene was like, yeah, it's not that deep. Let's actually have a conversation. I feel like, but anyway, I can rant all day about it, but I feel like Gizelle is the executive producer who doesn't allow those things to happen. If she don't like you, like she doesn't like Wendy at the moment, it's done. I'm icing you out. I'm not doing no scenes with you. I think it's mad. They didn't have no scenes,
That's crazy.
They didn't have any conversation to try and resolve anything.
I really think she's messing up the show now because the way that she really brought this fake storyline about Candiace is actually disgusting.
It's just, you can't just recycle every season like this, but it's got to the next level. Because she's always had a tendency to talk about people's man. We know that's how Gizelle operates. Talk about relationships. But now you're literally accusing people of assault, of harassment. Like, it's just too much.
It's giving Candy Phaedra to an extent. That's what it's kind of given.
It is going down that road.
It's really going down that road. And I really feel sorry for Candiace because, she could have been speaking about her fibroids, what was going on with her. And Robin could have been speaking about her cheating situation. Literally. But no, they kept that to her wraps and said, we're going to plan and go for Candiace. And it's a shame because you've now defamed Chris Bassett.
Literally. And that's why I'm happy. Normally I don't like the men coming at the women, but I'm waiting for his time for him to drag her for filth because it's unacceptable. You can't keep... I could talk all day about... Gizelle really irks my soul because I feel like Gizelle is the epitome of misery loves company. She's not happy in her life. I think Gizelle is a pretty light-skinned woman who's used to having things come to her easily. And I feel like she's getting older. She obviously can't keep a man. She can't I think there's a lot of bitterness, and I really do feel that's where I feel like the colorism comes into it. I think she sees the Wendy and the Candiaces in happy relationships, and I just feel like she can't understand it in her head. Why do women who look like you?
I think Wendy's a big threat to them.
I really think so.
Because Wendy's literally the full package.
Yes.
She's educated. She's good looking. She dresses very well.
Yes.
She's got a full family.
Yes.
She's got a loving husband.
Amen.
Beautiful children.
Literally.
She's just the full package. And when you are the full package, other women get intimidated by you, threatened by you. And not only that, but Wendy can read well. Sometimes just a little too much with the receipts here and there, but they deserve
it. Overall, she can keep up. And Gizelle is not a reader. And I think in Giselle's life, she's probably had a life of getting things and feel like, I'm used to being able to get stuff looking the way I look. And she looks at someone like Wendy and she just doesn't understand it. Wendy and Candiace, to me, you shouldn't be able to get that stuff. And it's like, those two are the most accomplished women on that show. That's why Ashley having the audacity to say that Candiace isn't. They've got degrees, they're educated, and they haven't had to... They're the only women actually on that show who haven't had to attain anything for a man, if you think about it. The rest of them all, even Karen Olaf, all of them married into wealth. That's how they got
what
it.
did she say a couple of years ago that Candiace is the least successful?
Yeah, least accomplished.
And then look what time does.
You cannot get a nickel from your man. I'm not, but you sat under that man for how many years?
$13,000 a month for mortgage.
Literally.
No.
You sat under that man for all these years and now you cannot get any money.
Apart from a little
you birthed
cash out.
2 kids and now you've got nothing apart from that house that is still in his name. And you want to come and talk out of your mouth to Candiace. It's a mess.
I've always, when Candiace came on the show, I've always thought it was a good thing that she has generational wealth.
Yes.
And that her mother is very rich, because as people of colour,
literally,
we don't have that. So.
And that's what I find funny, because on all these shows, especially Real Housewives, where we like it flashy, we want people to be rich and stuff. So she comes on, like you said, has that generational wealth, and you lot are mad at her, but you've all married into yours. So what's better?
It don't make no sense.
Literally.
Like,
shouldn't we be encouraging that? And again, that's why I feel like the jealousy is they can't fathom that this dancing girl's come onto the show and her family accumulated wealth and provided for her. And even the point, I didn't get the point that Ashley was making.
What was she making?
Because when Ashley was like, at 30, I hope my children will be able to have a house and but you don't.
So,
what are we doing?
That didn't make no sense. I was confused by it. I would have liked Ashley if she had longer hair.
Yeah, Ashley looked cute, but the bob was just...
It was bobbing,
yeah.
Let's just say.
And that's the thing that's frustrating. I feel like this... when Ashley's actually with the younger girls, when she's with Wendy and Candiace, even Mia, I feel like them 4 can have fun together, but they allow... Again, I don't want to keep on... No, I do want to keep on dragging Gizelle. I feel like they let Gizelle have too much power on this show.
Yeah, it's
and that's why I think... Because you know, it's when Giselle's not in scenes, they all have fun, they go out. Even when, like, Giselle's not around, Robin will speak to... Remember when Robin and Wendy had that conversation? I feel like these lot just let her carry too much, and that's why they call her the executive producer, but things aren't moving letting Gizelle have this much power. I'm actually not saying get rid of Gizelle. I don't think they should get rid of her, but they need to release Giselle's power, and they need to... I really feel like Gizelle needs to have a grilling. Like, producer needs to say to her, if you don't have your own storyline next season...
I feel like she could go, you know.
Yeah, to be fair, if she went, I'd actually be alright, but because I'm saying
the
that...
4 girls, they do... It's cute.
Yeah, like, I feel like they could bring other people in, but I'm saying if you're going to keep Gizelle in, I feel like Gizelle needs a warning that this season, you come with your own storyline.
She's got that guy she's seen on some
literally, whatever it is, do so. If you're not doing that, get out, because her and Robin, it's not anymore where you're going to be coming for other people and that's your storyline.
But I like Gizelle when she's with her daughters.
Yeah,
that's exactly the only time I like Gizelle.
Literally.
So I feel like she could have spoken about her journey and what she was going through.
Literally. How can it just be drive-by that you drop for? And that's quite serious. That you're having a whole I can never say the word.
No,
so you can't support me.
Hysterectomy.
That one. You're having a whole that coming out, and that is not literally. It's just drive-by on the phone. It's
wild.
too.
But let's park Gizelle in a corner. Let's talk about Mia.
Mia be lying.
Her businesses are really failing like that, and I'm not gonna laugh at you because I don't like to laugh at anybody's demise of businesses and money and savings. But wasn't she the one that's saying that Candiace's music was low budget?
Yes, and that Wendy, she was trying to advise Wendy about businesses, and now that's what you have to be careful. The things that come out of your mouth,
because you can't be saying that. Wendy's like, look at the CEO, child. What's she even a CEO?
Literally,
like,
and I feel like that's the problem with me. Because again, when Mia first came on, I was actually rooting for her. I was like, she's a breath of fresh air, and I like people. She was very honest, transparent. It's like her body, sugar daddy. I was riding for her, but I feel like she's another one, and maybe it is because of past trauma, because she's come poor. Well, I feel like she always has to overcompensate.
Correct.
I'm a CEO. I'm this. I'm that, and it's just backfired now. And the way she treats Jacqueline, if your whole best friend for how many years, you bring her on a show and you do her like that, Mia cannot be trusted.
It looked very much like a little bit of embezzlement, kind of. Like there was money that you guys were taking from the company, and that was paying for the house, that was paying for the renovation, and then that...
She would do any one day.
Because the way she did that with Wendy was ridiculous, the whole fight. And clearly she still hasn't learned, because in the reunion teaser, they're still arguing. She still hasn't learned that you assaulted Wendy.
Literally. Like, so, I don't know.
And Wendy has a lot more to lose. Mm-hmm. Especially with the Johns Hopkins University.
Exactly.
And so it's not nice at all that, unfortunately, she got in the mix-up because of Mia putting there and everything. The best dress for me was Wendy though.
I feel like Wendy is the best dress. I feel like Wendy's had, this season especially, I feel like she's always looked good, but the reunion, she was number 1 for sure.
The reunion, she's number 1
just looking like chocolate, like, she looks gorgeous.
Ashley's outfit was okay.
When I first saw pictures, I wasn't loving it, but she looked really good on screen. They all looked quite good with the
but Gizelle got it wrong, child.
Yeah. Gizelle does too much. That actually could have worked without all the embellishment. Giselle just exudes tacky. That's what I'm saying. And it's back to that point. I feel like Gizelle, her whole life, has not had to do much. I'm pretty, so I can just... No, you need to give us more. And I feel like without the whole beaded thing, that actually probably could have worked. But it's always just too much.
Who do you think dominated this reunion?
Candiace
immediately.
Yeah.
Candiace dominated the reunion.
Literally.
The way she was like, she said to Gizelle, "Shove your apology up your ass," and I'm so glad that she said that as well.
Literally.
And then she read Ashley for filth for the fact that people came for me, but look what's happening to you as well. When Wendy and Candiace tag team,
it's beautiful, and that's the energy we continue to need.
It's just eloquent the way that Wendy was like, "Oh, we should give you the benefit of the doubt, but you've consistently done this when filming's on," and then
I love when she speaks calm like that.
Yeah.
When Wendy's like, it really gets the point. Yeah,
that's
and that's what Gizelle never delivers. Giselle doesn't have. Do we remember any? Giselle, I don't think has ever had any quotables.
A part of me thinks that she has a lot of the power because she doesn't care.
Yeah, that's what I think does help. I think she does, but she's never going to show it, and that's one thing I will rate about Giselle.
She doesn't care.
I think it's borderline kind of sociopath in a way though. It feels like she doesn't feel anything. But I think you're right. That's the only thing that she makes it seem like it just rolls off.
She rolls off, but she gets dragged every reunion.
Literally. And they still mediocre, and she still gets to sit in first seat every time.
Yeah, I don't think Karen or Gizelle deserve first seat.
No. I would have allowed Gizelle just because Gizelle versus Candiace. So I could have understood, but Candiace and Karen should have been swapped.
Absolutely.
This was not the season for Karen to be... Yes, we know Karen and Charisse have had something, but it's not enough.
It should have been Candiace even with the season 5 with the Monique Candiace, they both should have been first seat as well.
I think they were trying to make a whole argument like as if anything was going to pop off there that they should, but they both should have been in those first seats.
Absolutely.
But I think they were scared of having them that close. But Andy's in between. Either way, if Monique wanted to get Candiace again, she would have done it. So regardless of where they're sitting, they should have been there. But
it's true though when you said about no scenes between Wendy and Gizelle, because even on the first episode of season 7, Wendy was trying to be cordial with her, and Gizelle was like, "No, I don't want to speak to you."
But that's the problem, and that's why I feel like
that's the problem.
I feel like the producers let Gizelle have too much power because there's no way on another show that would have been allowed to happen. Even when Nene being the big star Nene was, you think Nene and Kenya could not have no scenes together? They would make them talk like. That's the problem. The producers should have been, but I feel like Gizelle has power, and because Gizelle was actively trying to ice Wendy out. That's what I believe. That's why they kept on forcing Charisse on us. Because what Giselle's trying to do is Giselle Robin trying to bring Auntie Charisse in, who looks why she always look tired? Always look like she's just rushing from somewhere. She just come rushing from the gym or something.
And I really want the gym.
Okay, maybe not gym, but she always looks like she's.
But I really wanted Charisse to work.
Yes, like I want to go up for Charisse, and Charisse is apparently supposed to be very rich still.
And
like
the links and whatever. Like I really wanted
Charisse
her.
Needs to, like if they're bringing Charisse back, Charisse needs to be bringing galas, something like shows. Because the Potomac, that's one thing. Even though I love the Potomac girls, they don't give us wealth. You don't watch it and feel like. they actually get. I'm looking at like, why are you looking like you got the same life as me? I'm not watching you people to think.
No wealth, child. Just Michael Darby.
Literally
touching up people, child.
So I just feel like they were really, and that's the problem. They allow Gizelle to have too much power. Gizelle and Wendy should have been brought together to have a scene to be like, what is the issue? But I feel like Giselle's probably said no. I don't want to be because just little things. Giselle does not, and she doesn't say hi. She literally does not address Wendy. Like it's even really in the reunion, I don't feel like you can at least be cordial. Hi, it's bad, and I feel like that's the problem. They let her have too much power.
Too much power, and they're very selective because even that argument between Wendy and Mia irritates me because of Robin's and Giselle's reaction.
Literally
filming, laughing about
They're very mean girls.
Friendly with Mia. Didn't care about Wendy, even though Wendy was the one that was assaulted. Like they just don't like her.
And I feel like that's why I'm finding it because it's giving very much Beverly Hill vibes, which I don't like with the Force Fox 5 girls.
Yeah,
where it feels very high school, and that's how Gizelle operates. It's like we're the popular high school girls, and we're gonna try and ice you out. And it's like, no, this is a TV show for all of you. Giselle is not. So anyway, yeah, Giselle could go. For me, you're right. Giselle could go, but if they're gonna keep Giselle, then there needs to be a warning that if you're doing the same madness you were doing, because really it's like a HR issue technically. How can you just be saying some guy tried to do something to you and then but we're going to make it a storyline? If you really felt uncomfortable with this guy, it should not be used as a storyline. This is like real life.
At all. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they open it up though with Robin's interview with
As if Robin's going to give us anything in that.
We've seen most of it.
We've seen it and it was cringe. What else is Robin going to tell us?
The interview wasn't even that.
Literally. Robin has told us that she really believes that her man went all the way to somebody's hotel to just pay the bill. Is that what it was? The credit card or something?
That's what it was.
In this day of PayPal, Cash App, anything, in this time of, you said she came to see another man. It's your man who will go and pay. And Robin's a fool. I'm so annoyed that Robin even came out of her mouth. If this is a story you're going to tell yourself, but you actually came to tell us all this, are you not embarrassed? No, Robin needs to explain. I don't think Juan's going to give us it. He's not going to come next season so I feel like she's got her one shot to try and make that storyline. If not, then she's got to go. She's
definitely gonna be the main target for next season. They're all gonna, they're gonna come for her because for Candiace to be maligned like this, But then it was Robin who was the one that was really going down with, and Gizelle knew as well, and still continued to go for Candiace.
It's a mess.
It's a hot mess, man.
And we got, it's a 3-parter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 3-part, and then they're incorporating Robin's into the third one, or they'll do the 4th one for Robin.
Hopefully it's not 4 like that, because it's not that serious.
Robin is not going to give us enough.
She's starless, child. She is starless.
Oh, yeah, that's what Nini said. Nini's so bad to the girls.
Nini's so stupid.
That's a funny thing, because even though Nini knows, even though everything Nini says is coming from a place of bitterness because she's vexed her brother, she ain't lying. But I'm always like, Nini, you know if they call you tomorrow, you're running back. So let's not pretend otherwise.
Right. And I would want Nini to come back.
Yeah, I would, but
it's never gonna happen, child. Even Kenya said at the BravoCon that she wants Nini
Kenya's
back.
smart. That's what I mean. That's how the girls. That's why they're smart.
They know what
Kenya
makes the show.
Giselle would never say anything like that. If Candiace went, Giselle would be clapping. But Kenya's like, please, we need it affects all our bag. Bring all of them back.
She's giving hater vibes.
Literally.
Like big hater vibes. I'm just over Giselle and this whole storyline of the whole Candiace Bassett, doing X, Y, Z, and then Ashley jumping in with these DMs, whatever. The fakeness of this, doesn't make it reality TV.
It's
what are we watching
now?
What is it? It's false. And I just feel for Candiace.
And it has long-term ramifications of things she's doing.
Like, it affects Chris's work, his businesses, his image.
Do this.
You can't do stuff like that. It's not reality TV. They should be penalised, but they're not going to be penalised.
Just a whole pastor's wife. That's what you observed, to be fair. Anyway, let me not talk. But I went to church. Sometimes the pastors and the wives know them people be the worst ones. So.
And that's what Giselle's behaviour showing. I feel like this, and then she wants to apologise once the damage is done. And imagine. And you knew about this right after season 6, but you want to wait till the cameras
literally.
Again.
Where's Eric? Candiace is not playing. She's going to find that producer.
And she's like, don't break my fourth wall.
Literally. What did she say about if you want to get Ashley's husband in this mess, but not mine?
Right, it's true.
It's not, literally, it's not no Michael Darby.
And it's sad because Gizelle and Chris had a good relationship. So why did you even dog him out for what? Like,
what
that's
other
scary,
husband, what other husband is left for her to come for? She had to. One, baby, careful next season.
It's Mia's next.
Oh, good
the whole conversation, she didn't need to sit there and say embezzlement.
Giselle is a very shady woman,
It looked very much like a little bit of embezzlement, kind of. Like there was money that you guys were taking from the company, and that was paying for the house, that was paying for the renovation, and then that.
And Mia, you think that's your friend? It's Wendy you're beefing, but Giselle came to say you're a whole criminal. Giselle basically came to say you're Black Erica Jane. That's what she came to say.
Open your ears. Open your ears. And Mia's stupid, man. She's so dumb. I don't know why you're arguing with Wendy.
I just want better for you, and you're now coming to say that Wendy is sleeping with Peter. That's now the lane we're trying to go down. Mia is a liar.
I am done with Patricia. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Please leave Patricia on the fact that
was a long season. I forgot he was really in it at the beginning. I forgot that's really what their beef was about, Peter. Patricia. You now come on another franchise and still play mess.
Rest, please, Patricia. We don't need to talk about it anymore. You've left Cynthia. We're not bothered by it anymore. But it was just unnecessary. So I feel like this first property was good. Candiace, it was good in the fact that Candiace dominated.
Where's Smith?
Yeah.
And she's a queen. I'm sorry, I actually say this about the film about it. If they're smart, they need to center this show around Candiace because Giselle is not. And I just wish they would stop acting like. You can tell Andy does not like her, but if you're smart, Candiace is the future of Potomac. For Potomac to do well, she needs to be given her respects as the main girl. It's not just. Even me loving Karen, it's not Giselle and Karen that are the main girls of the show.
It's come over it now.
Yeah, it's Candiace.
Yeah. And there needs to be a conversation that Candiace is like a legendary housewife at this point. To me, she's a legend.
She's up there with the Kenyas, the Needys, the Phaedra.
Beelining for it soon in a couple seasons time.
Now Wendy's starting to settle in. Wendy will be able to get up there.
Give it another season or two and she'll be up there with Candiace as well. But I love them too as a tag team because nobody can. That is what you call a sisterhood. Like friendships. And even if those two would beef, they would come back together.
Yeah, I think they're smart. They know that we actually have like.
I didn't like Wendy when she first came on though,
No, see, I was always a bit conflicted. When Wendy first came on, I felt sorry for her because I felt like she came at the wrong time. Yeah. There was just too much going on. And Wendy was trying to be seen. It was like, Wendy, we can't even focus on you right now, babes. There's a whole fight. So I think Wendy's been trying to find herself, and I think she's finally starting to. The first 2 seasons, I think she was struggling, but I think now she's finally starting to get settled.
I think it was the Monique fight and Candiace fight that she got into, and then her using her. Sometimes she kind of used her degrees to look down upon Karen. Yeah. So that was where it was like, but
at the same time, I got her like mentality of, you know what, people show their accomplishments with their money and stuff. Why can't I show mine? But I get why. I think she was trying to overcompensate in the situation.
It was the way it was. I get what she was trying to, but the way she was saying it. especially somebody like Karen who doesn't have those degrees, and then it can hit people differently. You don't have that education. But season 6, I liked her more.
Exactly.
She dragged Gizelle and
That's
Robin
when I was really
Phil.
engaged. I said yes.
That's when I was engaged.
Wendy, we're here for you.
And now I feel like the reunion was with her receipts, but I feel like she had her points.
Yeah. And now I look back, I get now the feelings of I was having comments, and now understanding the whole thing with Robin and Juan and stuff, I'm kind of starting to get where Wendy was coming from. With you and me have had conversations about like how things are, and then you now are kind of jumping on the bandwagon of what Giselle's accusing my man of. So like a lot of things are starting to make sense now, knowing, because now I'm really starting to think, did Robin get really defensive with Wendy in that situation because now she knew what was happening? Because that's what tips her over the edge with Wendy, that Wendy was like being like, you don't really have a relationship.
Yeah.
So now thinking about this all in context, Robin was hurt because she knew what her man was doing.
But the one thing that Wendy annoys me about is that she wants to try and be friends again with Robin. She keeps trying to do it. Do you know what I mean?
It's a weird one because I feel like her and Robin were generally quite close at the beginning, but there's only so much you can do. But I feel like that's the problem with this show. I feel like the Wendy's and even Candiace at times know, unfortunately, the way the hierarchy is on this show, I think that's why Wendy, even first episode, came to entertain Gizelle. They know that we have to be somewhat cool with them.
Which is a good thing as well.
Which is sad in a way, but yeah.
It's a good thing as well that you want to try and maintain relationships with people you don't get along with.
But yeah, just do the civil. Don't be trying to, like you said, it's once, I'm not forcing it with you. You don't want to do scenes and stuff with me, it's cool. Once is enough. I'm not forcing to be Robin. Who's for Robin and you? Girl, you don't need to force to be friends on the preferred. Okay.
Honestly, it just don't make no sense. In other news, you heard about Kim Zolciak's new house. Foreclosure.
Kim.
God forbid, man.
Wasn't Kim's man a big... What was he, football player or something?
I feel like she just kept spending a lot of money.
And I guess she got all them babies and stuff.
Because she had... How can you be on Atlanta for 5 seasons, have your own
and
show
have to, anyway,
for 8 seasons?
Come and see White Privilege, because I never understood... I never watched it, but I never understood.
I never watched that show.
I never understood why of all of them, Tardy with the Party, they gave her that show. Of all the people who can be getting spin-offs, Kim...
It didn't make no sense, but 8 seasons of money, your husband's an NFL player, ex-player, and you're now in foreclosure. Like, it's just interesting. I'm not going to laugh at it because I don't like to, it's sad that you're losing your house in this way, but I feel like when you go above your means for image, it's really crazy. We might even see her on the next season of Atlanta. Well, she's doing cameos.
I think, because Sheree is... Everyone's trying to force people back onto it, innit? But, I mean, I liked Kim early days, but Kim was never one I was going up for in recent times. It's like, I'm not trying to see Kim now.
Early days, I loved Kim.
Yeah, but now I have no interest. If it's not Nene and Phaedra and Portia, I don't care.
Honestly. And Phaedra's going to Married to Medicine, Char. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I'm happy to see her on TV. We'll see what... I like me some Phaedra, we'll see... But Phaedra can also lie. So I just want Phaedra to show her life too. Because Phaedra is also very good at just giving you small.
Yeah.
So we'll see, and we'll see what... Anyway, I'm one of the few who tries to stay hopeful for Atlanta because it had such a special place in my heart, but...
Atlanta's not giving anymore, man.
I didn't think the last season was bad. It just wasn't. It was just blah, which is kind of worse when there's. It's just people are trying, but I do feel. I feel like it's tricky when you bring in loads. I feel like the first year when you bring lots of new people together, they need to cement. So maybe next season it will be better. People are claiming apparently from what I've been hearing. Is it Monietta Neo's ex?
Yeah.
Apparently she's very in the mix of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try this season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
The last season for me was season 12.
What was season 12?
When Kenya and
she came back. Oh yes.
Kenya and Nene had like a fight.
Yes.
The Giovanna.
And that even reunion was quite actually strong.
Yeah.
yeah. That was COVID reunion.
Eva was there. And Portia was there.
That was actually a strong.
I feel like it was a strong season.
And
the strongest.
13 was Bolo in it and everything.
Yeah, that was dead to me. That was dead. But that was COVID, so I let it pass.
Yeah. You're right. 12 was probably the last
and then
strongest.
14 had like okay moments, like when Marlo and Candy had their moments back and forth. And Todd was like to Marlo, like, you weren't even in this.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's
scenes.
good.
But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know.
Carlos King said something that was a good point, which I think is a problem with some parts of Atlanta and especially Potomac. But he's saying a lot of these reality shows now are so focused on moments and dragging. They're not doing story, like there's nothing. So that's what makes everything
Social
kind of
media.
dissolve. Yeah. You're so focused on who can drag who. So we see those things in the trailers, we're hyped. And then everything becomes anticlimactic because it's like,
I even like
after this, what else is there?
They used to do the confessionals on the street.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. That was like, I love stuff like that, and I feel like
it's more authentic, isn't it?
Some of them have lost out of touch with
and they need to go back to storylines. Like, so it's true, you don't really get storylines now. It's just this person versus this person. It's not like what's back in the day. Think about the Atlanta storylines we had. We had Todd and Mama Joyce.
Child.
We had Kenya and Phaedra. Like we had actual storylines. Phaedra and Apollo. Walter. Literally, we had actual storylines that were entertaining.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
Whilst now it's like it's just beefs. There's no storylines.
And
what was her husband's name? What was Uncle's name? He was a football player. Cordell. Nah, those seasons were fire. You know? I forced to go back home and watch. I always say season 6 Atlanta is the best of any franchise. You cannot tell, and that's why Kenya deserves actually the respect
in the world.
Literally, because when Kenya and Portia entered season 5 and then season 6,
Kenya
what
was
a season.
Everybody was on her neck.
Kenya handled all them girls by herself.
On her ground.
Kenya's friends with Gizelle. Kenya should teach Gizelle how to read.
I don't get it. You know. Honestly, I think they're friends, but if they were everyone on the same show, they would probably clash.
No, I don't think Kenya would like Gizelle. I think Kenya would actually chill with Candiace and Wendy.
Yeah, I don't think any of the girls would be able to handle the Atlanta girls at their peak.
No.
Like,
Candiace would probably be able to play with the girls.
Yeah, Candiace.
But yeah.
I think probably Candiace.
That's
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see Candiace and Phaedra just having a moment.
Literally.
Like, it would just be everything. Beverly Hills.
Oh, that they apparently started shooting again.
Yeah.
And when I saw the pictures, so everybody's back. Like, and obviously other than Lisa Rinna. But Dorit is really back.
I think Dorit...
Maybe Dorit can have moments, but...
Yeah, she hasn't had a moment in a while, though.
Not in a while. I just feel like Dorit... Then again, I guess you don't know to the end, so she could end up being a friend of, innit?
She could.
But
I doubt it, though. But I want her to really clock in.
Just come with some energy.
Something.
And it should not be pick on Sutton. There's other things to like now be...
I love Sutton. I love Garcelle. Crystal, I'm beginning to like again.
Yeah. If those 3 can focus on being a successful trio, they can actually do well.
Kim's there. Lisa's there. There's a new girl.
Well, Kim's coming back.
Not Kim, sorry, Charles.
Oh, Carl. I said, wow, injected.
There's a new girl as well apparently coming.
Yeah, I read so. And she's somehow linked to Paris Hilton, I read.
So that means Kaki's coming back for sure.
Kathy. Oh, interesting.
I wonder what the storylines will be for the next season.
And I wonder what Erica's going to really do in that group.
She's going to be
because Dorit's her girl, I guess, and then her and Kyle were not great before, but I think Kyle will fall back into... But Kyle is smart, you know. I think Kyle's going to try and align more with Sutton and Garcelle, because Kyle don't like being the enemy. She doesn't like being on that side. So I think she's going to try and be more on that side.
But I want to see more of the Hilton sisters. I want Kim to come back.
Yeah.
That's what I like, the show. Brandy's not going to be anywhere near the network after what she was doing with Caroline Manzo.
I mean, you know what? Brandy always, for me, is taking things... I've always liked Brandy in small doses. So I'm kind of like, I hate to say it, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe you need to learn Brandy, because Brandy gets too excited. So I feel like sometimes, I feel like her, the Dorindas, there's people like that who like, their bad behaviour is like, especially, I could go on a whole run about how the standards for the white girls are so much. They're allowed to get away with so much more on these franchises. So I feel like they kind of need to be, like, they need to know that you can't be doing too much. So, because I think the Traitors reunion, they filmed it, and from what people are saying, she wasn't there. So, it's done for you, girl.
It really is done for you, though. Which
is a shame, but you got to learn the hard way. You got to respect people's boundaries.
Yeah, because she would have been back on Beverly Hills for sure.
Yeah.
110%. What was I going to say? Would you want Phaedra to come back to Atlanta? Because Candy won't let her.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because at this point, I love me some Candy. It's
been 5 years since...
Yeah, I love me some Candy, but... I can also not have... It's a shame. I really liked Candy in the Gang. I thought that was a leeway.
I was surprised.
Yeah, that they got rid of it. I thought that was a leeway, like Vanderpump Rules, for Candy to kind of... Leave. So I would have actually been fine with that. But, yeah, I feel like Phaedra and Candy actually I would at least have a sit down. I think Candy should at least give it that. Because Candy's the type who, if you have... I think Candy actually can be quite forgiving. So I feel like they should just have one sit down. And it would actually, in the long run, probably make Phaedra look bad, not Candy, because Phaedra's very good at deflecting. So I feel like Candy should at least entertain that instead of doing this whole, if she comes, I go thing. Because Andy really likes her, and Andy doesn't want to let her go. Yeah. So I think that's why he's kind of giving Phaedra this avenue of, well, I want her on my TV, so we got to put her on Married to Medicine.
I don't think Candy's ever going to go near Phaedra. She's like, you nearly ruined my life. So
yeah.
And I
think she would have entertained. Yeah, for sure. But I think she would have entertained an apology. But because she never gave that, she kind of, because she forgave Portia. And Portia was a main girl, was part of it as well.
Portia,
I think because she apologized.
Has 9 lives.
Portia gets away with it. You know what?
This girl dragged Kenya. This girl was really part of the Phaedra stuff to demise Candy. This girl nearly dragged Dennis McKinley's mother on her own show as well.
She went and stole someone's husband. I don't care what anyone says, okay? Simon, Portia gets away with so much, you know. And it's so funny because I only really saw it when I was watching Portia's show, that I was like, you know what, I am actually starting to really... You know when you start looking back at things, and I get why Kenya was annoyed with Portia, because I feel like Kenya feels like I always got the bad end and she was always made to look like the good one.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see, and I still love me some Portia, I'm starting to realise, Portia, you're slightly the villain, you know?
Yeah.
You get away with a lot because... And she's probably like a Gizelle in that sense, where like, if they like you, which shows you have to probably be good to camera people and stuff. But then again, I know she was. Because on her own show, she looked like she didn't treat them that well. But
she beat that girl up after the season 8 down the street. She had a fight with Cynthia.
Yeah.
Then she also stole, allegedly, whatever that girl's what her name is.
She stole her husband.
Whatever.
You went to her house. You went to Farah's house. You saw her, man. You saw the life she was living, and you took him. You can't tell me any different. I rate it. I respect it. You're living your best life.
I love Portia, though. I can't lie to you.
Oh, Portia's fierce. And Portia's always winning. Like,
yeah, always winning.
Come and see, like, even the Farah girl's no longer with that guy that she had a baby with, but look how Portia's winning. Ah, you know what? I respect it.
The winning was amazing.
Oh, she was wearing royal blue as well.
Outfit to outfit to outfit. It was everything.
Jesus.
She had all the girls gagged.
Portia is doing full enjoyment, living her best life. She's looking sexy as hell. Body's on point. Even her man, Simon, I don't know what she's done to Simon, but Simon looks like he's had a whole makeover.
To now, child, please.
Oh, every day.
There ain't nothing else. But I love you some Portia, but I don't think she'll come back to Atlanta.
I do want to see Portia on TV again, but she won't do that. The show was such a flop, innit? It wasn't a flop, but it was so much mess around it. I don't think she'll do a show like that again.
Didn't put in a good light.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like she needs to do it now because her man is rich as hell.
Yeah, it'll just be good to see her on. Oh, I guess. Although I don't know what's happened with any of these trailers.
Oh, she's doing the All-Stars,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's coming out.
But I don't know why they haven't shown.
I don't know why they're dragging it. I think it's coming out in April.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of issues going on. Yeah, actually, I did read that once all these, because they like to do different batches in it. So I think once these ones are done, they're gonna get the trailer out and put it out. So
yeah. Well, this is a long ass review. We done review Potomac.
Just done all the Housewives girls.
Dubai. I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I feel like
you watched Dubai.
I watched it, and I know people said it was boring, which was a bit, but I feel like again, because the girls didn't know, I feel this season will be better because it's very tricky. You could tell the girls didn't know each other that well. Like some of them are close, but I think when you put a group together who don't know each other that well, it can be very hard to. And I think because it's also Dubai, they can't be doing too much turn up. You can't do big fights and stuff. So I think there was a lot of things around it. I feel like this season will probably be better. Now friendships are forming. Now people like know each other. So I think it's got potential because I think it's got a good cast. Like Chanel Ayan, Lisa Milan, what's the other black girl's name? Caroline Brooks. They're all, and Caroline Stanbury's a bit, but I feel like they all have personalities to carry a show.
They do.
They just need to get comfortable with each other. So I think
there needs to be more storylines.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for next season.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for next season, and I need to clock into Miami.
I'm telling you, Miami is the best one. Miami is the perfect mix of one, the girls they all dress really well, they're rich, so they actually do look, you should just see, they had a recent Miami trip, that's why Potomac was embarrassing. I said, you can't send Potomac to Miami and then do this proper trip that they were doing in Miami. I said, this is not the same Miami, I don't know what's happening here.
That Miami trip was awful.
Literally. And they're a good mix if they get into fights, but it's like, you know, it's not huge things where I'm trying to take you down for your man. It's old school fights. My house is bigger than your house is like them kind of things, but it's funny. And then you've got and then you've got whole Lisa's divorce thing, and then that's when they really come together and support each other. So it's the mix of sisterhood, but shade that we need. So that's a really good cast, I think. Yeah, and you don't really have to watch. Well, I didn't watch the first iteration of it. I watched last season, but you can go straight into this season.
Yeah,
to be
you
fair,
can go straight into this. I've started.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get into it.
It's good.
Let us know your thoughts, guys, when it comes to basically the housewife world and just speaking about it. Not just Love Island, child. We love housewives as well. So, like
all the reality mess.
All the reality mess. We'll be back for Potomac we'll see what these girls do, especially with the finale. Like, I love reviewing the finale because that's going to be the most fiery one. Hopefully. We're going to see what happens. Let us know your thoughts are. Subscribe to the channel. Check Abigail's credentials. They'll be in the bio below. And we'll catch you guys soon for another review. We bounced off so well.
Yeah, man. We want to get into the reality girls talks, man.
We have the same opinions, and we love the same reality shows.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I've deeped it, so it's just like it just works like that.
It's true, man.
Not even a script, and it's like a whole half an hour.
Oh, I even forgot about my girl Jen Sharp. What else is there to say? My girl's locked up. That's it.
Jen Sharp's gone, child.
Jen is really gone for 6 years. Wow.
6 years and a half.
I started watching that video. I rate how she tries to spin things. She's really now trying to, and people are saying that sounds like another scheme. That she's going to go there and she's going to try and help people with their basically plan when they come out. She was saying something, I didn't watch it all, but maybe she's trying to say that there's some guy who I think he does like prison reform stuff and helps people on their way to be better when they come out, and she wants to basically do that. I'm like, girl, people can't think this is a scheme. But
yeah. What is Jen Sharp? I don't see her coming back to Housewives or whatever. I think it'll be done by then. Salt Lake City.
Yes, Salt Lake City is. I stopped watching.
It'll be on season 11 when she comes back.
Yeah, I stopped. But then I don't know why they don't learn. I've heard that they're starting filming again soon.
Yeah.
It's that Salt Lake City. They need to actually just chill and really rebrand and work out what they're doing with that show.
Because it's over. This is
I tried, and I literally normally will watch all shows, but I stopped. Because it was too chaotic, and I feel like I don't root for anyone. Again, I like there's at least Potomac. Some of them annoying, but I like Wendy and Candiace. That one, I'm like, even Heather, that I was backing you. I'm like, Heather, is everything okay? Like, what kind of Stockholm syndrome do you have for Jen?
And this whole
Everybody's
black
just,
eye nonsense.
oh, I'm like, I'm not doing it.
It's so dumb. I don't know what's worse, that or Love Island. Like,
at least Love Island is trying to come with these storyline. No, but I guess their consistent storyline is Olivia moaning. But at least they're trying now to find small difference.
because it's too much.
Can't do, man.
Let me end this now, child.
Okay.